Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the rocks. Total entertainment coming to you live from my new studio right here in Henderson, Nevada. Tonight, we're going to be talking to Ravenmocker. This is a Southern California metalcore band, so let's let them in. Are you there, Tommy?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Welcome to On the Rocks. Thanks for coming in. This
Uh,
is a great opportunity to talk about your EP.
yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's kind of get the viewers up to speed about your band. When did you guys start the band?
So I've been sitting on these songs for probably about 2 years now. I was playing drums in another project for about 5 years, and I've always kind of had, uh, I've had this itch for writing, and the songs I was writing really didn't fit into the vibe of what they were trying to go for, which is, that happens. And after a while, it became kind of evident to me that if I wanted to take this anywhere, and I kind of had this idea that these songs were decent enough to, get out there. Um, I felt like, I should probably start my own project. And so we started the band, I believe, officially in June of last year, but we
Okay.
only really, it was just kind of learning music and getting to really know each other as people. And by the time, uh, I guess by the time the holidays rolled around, we had the songs finished and recorded, but it's never really a good time to release during the holidays just because,
Right.
everybody's with their families and so we had the songs done for a couple of months and then it just kind of bad timing, I guess. But yeah, so we started the band back in June. So we're coming up on a year, which is crazy
Wow.
to me. It doesn't even feel like that long, but yeah.
Time flies, you know.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Yeah, Infallible is really amazing. It's really powerful. I was listening to it, and I love the intro to the song.
Mhm.
But
Yeah. Well, yeah, the music was it kind of feels like a really kind of uplifting song, but the lyrics are definitely dark and angry. Uh,
right. But
a
I'm
lot of
saying,
personal feelings came
yeah,
out
of
in that, but
course. I
yeah,
mean, are you the main writer, Tommy?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you like write? Do you write from personal experiences? Do you write from like say somebody you emulate, or how do you do that process?
Well, a huge influence of mine is Alexi Laiho from Children of Bodom. I love his kind of neoclassical approach on metal, especially in the earlier records. So that kind of influenced a lot of, I think, the sound that you were hearing, the keyboard and the guitar
Right,
lead. But we're not trying to be a rip off Children of Bodom. We're trying to take that influence and make it our own sound.
right, of course.
But it's I wish I had a more solid answer for how I write a song because a lot of these things I'll have nothing for months. You know what I mean? I'll be
Right.
sitting at the guitar beating my brains in, and frustration is overwhelming. And then one day I'll have a weird dream or something. I'll wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and I'll be like, oh my God, I have this idea. I have to track it right now. And then it usually unfolds into something within a couple of days. My brain's weird like that. I wish I could give a more solid answer.
Well, no, your brain isn't any different than every songwriter I've talked to. I'm a writer,
Hmm.
of words, but yeah, I mean, you could be driving a car and you're like, oh my God, I just thought of something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it happens at the most weirdest times.
it
You can never
does. Yeah.
predict how your mind works,
Hmm.
and you know how this is because you're a writer. It is hard to shut down.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when
Mine's
you
always
try to,
turning.
yeah, your mind is constantly grinding.
Hmm.
And I think that's the one downside because you want some like zone time. But yeah, I mean you got it when the you got to strike while the iron's hot. If you're coming up with ideas, man, you got to get them down on paper for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it goes. Luckily I'm usually never too far from my computer, but
Yeah,
sometimes I just like I have to like sing out an idea because like I'm not next to a guitar or something,
right, of
and then
course.
try
Yeah,
and remember it like on my cell phone and like get it down as soon as I get home. So
right. But
yeah,
congratulations on this song because you have over 5,000 listening hits
yeah,
with this song,
yeah.
which is incredible.
Yeah, I know for a lot of like established artists that's like nothing, but for a brand new band, I mean,
Oh
we were
yeah,
kind of floored by
for a,
that.
for a brand new band, man, you
Yeah.
guys are really hitting it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're super grateful for everybody that has, reached out and followed us on social media. Our fans seem pretty interactive, and I try and, make sure since I'm running the band accounts, like
Right,
they
of
feel
course.
heard, and it's a if a any kind of appreciation towards listening to us,
Oh yeah.
like it's just like I feel the need to be like, thank you so much, like I never, you know, I never thought that anything that came out of this would be, something that people would want to put on more than once.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And
so
I look forward to hearing more from you guys. Now, let's talk about the Southern California metalcore scene right now.
sure, sure.
How are you guys involved? Are you guys playing shows right now?
So we have booked shows for later in the year. They're quite a ways away, but we're kind of just trying to play chess with the shows that we take, especially because as great as Spotify is, everyone has access to that. And there were a couple of shows that came to us. They were like, "Hey, do you want to play this and that?" Like, and then the question is like, "How many tickets can you sell?" And it's just like, I don't know because we're nobodies still, like we got to pay our dues and such, but I don't want to oversell us, but I also don't want to undersell us.
Yeah,
So,
see, that's one of the issues I've talked about with a lot of bands,
mhm,
since the beginning of the year, since I've been doing shows.
mhm.
These club owners, that's the first thing out of their mouth. They're going to ask you, how many followers do you have?
Yeah,
How many socials are you on?
hmm,
And what's your fan base?
yeah,
And that's, unfortunately, that's the way it is.
hmm.
And, do you have a TikTok account?
We do, yeah, we do
Okay.
have TikTok.
So
I
it,
I
it's
don't really use it
okay.
very much, but
Well,
yeah, we do have one. We have
yeah,
a
well,
we
we're
have a
going to talk
Ravenmocker
about
too.
that we're going to touch on that for just a second. If
Sure.
you were to do a live, like like you're writing a new song and you're just filming yourself, and that's what viewers really want to see, and that's how you're going
Hmm.
to get your hits. Wow, that I love that guy's guitar. Wow, I'm going to check these guys out. You have to get on TikTok because it's the hottest platform for
Hmm.
live music,
Live meet. Okay.
especially metalcore.
Mm.
And once you get in on that rotation, if you guys start picking up, views, it's going to keep going. People want to see you behind the scenes, like, especially when you guys start playing shows out. Definitely important to get those shows on film
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you could do even like a 3-minute clip and throw it on TikTok or get a YouTube page because that's really going to help drive your fan base.
Yeah, our YouTube is actually our most successful platform, I
Okay,
think.
great, great.
We've had not only the music video, but our first video ever was kind of a like in rehearsal room recording ish. I don't know. We just put up a camera in the room. It got over 80,000 views that first
Okay,
video,
now
and then yeah, we got 1,000 subscribers off of that, and
you
then the video
need,
came around, and
right, you need to clip some of those
mhm.
clips, make some clips, and hit it on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think we shared those same videos. Let me check here.
Because I
Um,
know you're on Facebook and Instagram, but I mean,
yeah, we're on all the main ones.
right,
Facebook and Instagram, I'd say, are the main two that we're um, posting pretty much all the time on. But
right.
yeah, we have all of those videos on TikTok. Yeah,
Okay. So, yeah,
they're just not performing as well, I suppose.
well, again, make sure you're using the right hashtags like metalcore, um, Rock for You.
Rock for
Okay.
you. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
you have to put the words rock in there,
Mm-hmm.
so you get in the music rotation because, it's not like, oh, for you. Everybody was using that. Now, see, since TikTok has evolved, you have to put music related hashtags and you can only use six.
Mm-hmm.
So, put your name at Ravenmocker, put rock for you, metalcore, California metal.
Mm-hmm.
If you just do a few little additions, that's going to help your rotation on that stuff. But that is the key to your band right now,
Mm.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely start exploring some of
Yeah, started
the
just a little
options
bit.
on there. Yeah.
Trust me. I mean, because I deal with these bands every day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
important to get your music out. We want to get viewers to come see you live.
Yeah.
That's the whole end game, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Live shows. Yeah.
right, for sure. So let's talk about the scene there in Southern California because I know quite a few bands out there, metalcore
Mm-hmm.
bands. Um,
Yeah.
a friend of mine, Chaz Leon from the Kings of Thrash, has a great band, Black Days. He has a tribute band. He does really well out there.
Mm.
So, what are some of the like friends of yours that are playing out? Like, what are some of the bands that you're seeing out there?
Well, we're teaming up with a band called Synapsence. They're very much
Okay,
in like the melodic death metal, shreddy kind of
right?
um I guess genre as us. We've been talking to them a lot. We just saw our friends in Edge of Paradise. They're kind of a epic power metal band.
Okay,
We just saw them I think last week over in Garden Amphitheater in Anaheim.
okay,
And then, yeah, I mean, I try and do some networking whenever friends I've been on tour with in the past, like Fit for an Autopsy, Orbit Culture, like bands like that. Whenever they come through, I kind of just, obviously, I'm there to talk to them and
oh,
not promote my
absolutely.
own stuff. But
And
uh,
networking is 90% of this.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, for sure.
um, yeah. But it's we're trying to find our niche for sure. There's a lot of bands doing the metalcore and the hardcore kind of thing right now, which is super dope. We're just kind of I think we're in kind of a bracket. Not to say we're in a bracket of our own, but it's a smaller genre for sure. So we're
Right.
trying to
Well,
stick with the
how would you categorize your band? If you had
uh,
to put
mo-
a music category, what would you put it in?
melodic death metal for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Um,
that's been used a lot as well. Metalcore is a pretty much a, universal term, but
mhm.
yeah, I mean, we call it pigeonholing. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself, but it's
That's
it's a
true. You're
it's
right.
a
Yeah.
it's a pretty wide open uh genre right now, and
Hmm.
I'm seeing a lot more bands like yourself, with this, what do they call it, orchestral metal.
Yeah.
uh
Symphonic, orchestral.
yes,
Yeah. Cinematic. Yeah.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
great because you want to tell a story.
Yeah.
And let's just, for instance, let's talk about like Iron Maiden. Iron
Hmm.
Maiden always told a story,
Oh yeah.
you know, and Queensryche,
Hmm.
to me, were one of the storytellers from the beginning. If you really look back, you've got bands like ELO. If you really want to look way back in, the death metal, like, of course, Motorhead. You can't leave them
Oh,
out
of course. Yeah.
as well. But there's so many bands from England that really started this genre, and I really
Yeah.
am excited that a lot of bands now are coming forward with this type of music because there is a need for it. We're sick of tribute bands and cover bands. I'm sure you're inundated with those in Southern California, right?
We definitely have a lot of them. There are a couple of cover bands. I was blown away by Damage Inc.
Oh
specifically.
yes, Damage Inc. Now I'm going to give them some kudos.
They're fantastic.
They
I
are
had a
the
great
best.
time at their show. Yeah.
They're one of the best tribute bands out there. My friends are the kings of thrash.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
David Ellefson, you know, Chaz Leon, Jeff Young,
Mhm.
personal friend
Mhm.
of mine. That band is killer. I
Yeah.
much kudos to them as well. Damage Inc. was just here for a huge show. They spent
Yeah.
some time in Vegas, but they are busy 365.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because there is a difference between a cover band and a tribute band.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
as you well know, but yeah, I mean, let's get some original music out there. I mean, that's important to me because that's the only type of bands that I will talk to is
Yeah.
original music bands. Um, you know, I have a lot of musicians that are out there doing some tributes, doing some cover bands, no problem. I get it.
Mhm.
But I mean, the industry right now is changing. Okay? You're going to see a lot more original music because people are done.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times can we listen to Paradise City done 40 different ways?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's
Yeah.
think about it. You know, you walk into a bar, the first thing you're hearing is either Van Halen, Guns N' Roses,
Yeah.
or AC/DC,
Yep. That's the truth.
you know? And it's great. It's fun. It's a great night out. Okay. But, you know, as a, you know, music fan myself for a long time, I
Mhm.
want to hear some brand new music. I want to hear some, you know, something that takes the bite out of my evening,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. It's harder and harder for me to find just like song when I was younger. I used to come across, and that could be because I had the entirety of music at my disposal still waiting to be listened to.
Right?
But like as I got older, it became harder and harder to find albums and bands that I was like, oh my God, I could listen to this forever.
Right.
And I mean, part of the downside of being a musician is that you like hear stuff and you're constantly comparing yourself with how good they are, or like, and it kind of makes you view things in a different light rather than just pure appreciation like when we were younger. But at the
Right.
same time, it's harder for me to find things that I like really gel with. So it's really special when I find that record and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I love this.
Right.
Um, but you're right. It's getting harder and harder to find that kind of stuff. And I'm really hoping that the next couple of songs that we put out, we actually was talking to our PR guy. We have a song coming out a month from today. So
Okay, well
uh
let's talk about that. What is it? Tell us about it.
I guess I'm breaking ground here, but that's okay. No time like the present to do it.
Right?
It's called Where the Raven Flies. It's less like Infallible and more like a Monomarth kind of
Okay.
style. So it's a little less driven and a little more what's the word, vibey, I guess. But
Okay.
it's still melodic death metal. It's just it's a little slower, and it really focuses on the melody, the origins of the Ravenmocker, which is it's a Native American lore, and it showcases our lead guitarist. He plays really ripping solo in that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some really beautiful 80s derived melodies, and he does a little bit of everything in there. A little shredding, uh, little bit of mode play. It's great.
Well,
Um,
hey, let's talk about your members of your band.
sure, sure,
While we're on that subject, why don't you tell the viewers the rest of your band?
sure. Well, George Patmos is our lead guitar player. He and I have been friends since I moved to California, basically. So that puts us at about a decade of friendship. Um, Great dude. Has played around the local scene a lot, and he and I have just been. We went to the same college out here, so that's how we met. And we just ended up after I came back from this last tour I was on last spring. He was really interested in reviving one of the projects I had been in prior, and I was like, why don't we just start new with all these fresh songs, and like no one really listened to it anyway.
Right?
We have a chance to re-record, redo these songs as a group, and So he was a really great fit for the band. Our bass player is Will Buckley. He plays in most prominently in a band called Anubis out here, but he also shares a band with our drummer Dylan. They play for a band Lavinia, which is
Okay.
also in that line of symphonic. Um, and they're a little more. They've got a female singer, and she's great. They definitely do more of the Nightwishy, epica style, cinematic, operatic metal. Um, but yeah, they're in a band together, and then and Anubis is Will's other band, which is like a thrash power metal type of vibe. They're doing really well in the area too. And then yeah, Dylan's our drummer. He plays for Lavinia, and um, he and I have kind of bounced around friend groups and stuff like that. But
Right.
before I was getting ready to go out on my last run, he came over and he helped fabricate me a drum rack. So that's where we really started becoming friends. And
Right.
when I came back from that tour and I was like, hey, I want to put this project together,
Nice.
I called him and he took one listen to the songs. He was like, dude, I fucking love this. Like, let's get it going. So,
Well,
uh,
that's good. Tommy, what other band, what tour did you just come off of?
so it was actually about a year ago.
Okay.
I was playing drums for a an opener for Arch Enemy on their Blood Dynasty
Oh,
tour
very
in
cool.
2025.
Very cool.
So we were the opener for that. And then who was on that? Bass was on that from Denmark, and Fit for an Autopsy was on that.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and then so that tour went from I believe March to April of 2025 for Blood Dynasty, and then yeah, it was pretty much I got off the bus, started writing Ravenmocker stuff, and it's been all about Ravenmocker ever since.
Yeah,
So
that's great though. See,
yeah,
those are great experiences, you want to share. And I'm glad you shared that with me because that's super important. A lot of musicians aren't only in the band they're in,
hmm,
they're kind of all over the place. And you know what? I'm pretty sure COVID kind of started that situation because, a lot
yeah,
of people, a lot of bands weren't willing to work with anybody until
yeah,
COVID. And they had
hmm,
to open up themselves to Zoom and
hmm,
video chats and because that was it. Everything was shut down,
yeah,
and it's great that people are starting to come out now.
yeah. Yeah, I mean all of my recording stuff I do here. I mean you can see my drums in the
Yeah,
background there.
totally.
But yeah, that COVID was definitely a rough time for musicians, but also like it was a great time to like find some really awesome projects to like play drums for, even as a session
Right.
guy, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I got a couple of people reaching out to me saying, "Hey, I need a drummer for this." And like, I would collaborate with them, but I would put drums on their music and like it's like, "Hey, I got you a step closer to where you want to be." Like
Yeah.
thanks for choosing me.
Right. And
Um,
I think, the metal rock community is really tight.
yeah,
The more people you meet, the more kind of your circle gets full,
hmm,
and we're all a real rock family.
yeah, we are.
And it's important that we keep this music alive.
Hmm,
As you all know, like the music is changing. The music
yeah,
scene is changing. And I don't know about Southern California. You guys are pretty still strong in the metalcore arena, I think. Vegas is kind of going through a few changes with the music scene here
hmm,
as well. We have quite a few metal bands that are kind of up and coming, uh, and it's constantly changing. It's just like fashion and
yeah,
style and everything, but it's important that you keep going
yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
you
Yeah,
don't
we're
stop.
we're just at the we're fortunate to be at the very beginning of this and to have a really promising prospect of what's in front of us. We're really passionate about what we do, and I honestly, if I don't think if we were as passionate as we were, we wouldn't have had not only the response, but we wouldn't have the drive to keep doing this after so many years of just trying. This isn't the first time I've had to build something up from scratch, and
Right.
I'm hoping it may be the last. But
Yeah.
even if it's not, it's helpful to know that every time I do this, it gets a little better. And it seems like this time we have a really winning formula, not only with like the people that we're working with in the studio, but you mentioned Motorhead. We're actually tracking drums at Cameron Webb's studio down
Okay.
here in Santa Ana. So Dylan's going to be taking his drums down there. We're going to do about 4 or 5 days of not only this EP's drums, we're going to completely redo everything. Just because the kit he was on for Infallible and Where the Raven Flies wasn't it wasn't really him, but we needed to re-record these things anyway, so we were
Right.
like, fuck it, let's just re-record the drums on your kit, and
Right.
then we're doing all the drums for the next EP as well. So we're gonna take it all in one big session, and then just after the second EP, the first EP comes out, we're gonna finish up the second one slowly. But the drums will all be done. But anyway, the whole point of that was Cameron Webb has done 7 Motorhead records, and he was really enthusiastic about what we were doing, and so we're going to be working with him specifically on the drums.
That's
Um,
great. That's great because he
so yeah,
is like incredible.
yeah, yeah, he
So
is.
you're in good hands with him for
Yeah,
sure. But
super talented guy. Yeah.
I think the whole thing of this, Tommy, is stay hungry.
Hmm. Yeah.
Stay hungry, stay positive. It's so hard in this business to get distracted.
Yeah.
You know, stay on it. And you guys are really at the cusp of what your band could really do, which is amazing. Like, what are some of the goals for 2026 for your band?
I think that this year, we just want to get known. We want to make a name for ourselves, and we want to let people know, not only who we are as musicians, but also like, force in the scene. We want to really start making some relationships in the industry, and when touring acts come through, Calma, Winter Sun, that type of vibe. Hopefully people will call us to open those shows, and we
Yes.
start breaking out of the bar scene, start moving towards the ballroom scene.
Yeah.
And I know I'm kind of thinking a couple probably years ahead of myself. I know how long it takes to kind
Yeah.
of
But
get
that's
yourself off
okay,
that
though.
plane, but
Having a
yeah, we're
goal is amazing.
yeah,
Like I said, it's all about staying hungry and
yeah.
getting all your ducks in a row. Now, do you guys have merch yet? Or,
Not yet. No,
okay.
we just our last big purchase was an in-ear rig, so we can actually hear ourselves when we
Oh,
play.
well, that's important.
So yeah, and then our next priority is getting in the studio, making sure the record's finished and it sounds the way we want. And then after that, we're gonna focus on merch. We do have a website that we don't have much on it, but we have one, and we're gonna be offering some kind of like if you want like a hat or something like that, you can do the I think it's like the print to order services,
Oh,
Printful,
great.
Printify.
That's
So,
awesome.
so yeah, we're ironing out some kinks. Unfortunately, these companies, we've had a couple of run-ins with like 2 of them that people have put in orders and not gotten their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So before we go live with that, we want to make sure the company we're working with is like actually delivering the orders. So
Right. Delivering
know,
the goods.
yeah,
And
because the second we put that live, it's like I have to know that everyone's getting their stuff, because like
oh, yeah, for
we
sure.
don't we don't have the physical merch, but yeah, we're working on that too.
Yeah,
That's
that's
definitely going to
great.
be
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's going to be a big part of your shows is getting
Oh
that
yeah,
merch sold. Because
yeah.
it's going to keep you guys in the black. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, and we want to make sure there's physical media, CDs, LPs, they're making a huge comeback. So, we're gonna have physical music. We want to have, stuff you can use at a bar. You out a lighter? Well, guess what? I got a Ravenmocker lighter. You know what I
Right.
mean? Oh,
Exactly.
another cool idea I was thinking of is like, hey, if you buy our shot glass, you can take it up to the bar, and we'll work on like a discounted thing with the bar where you get like a well drink for like
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple
See?
bucks less, and you get to use
Yeah.
the shot glass. And it's
Right.
like a way to get people to buy alcohol, but also buy a shot
Buy your
glass to go with it.
merch
Yeah, so like,
for sure.
yeah, my mind's going on that for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
But those are great goals to have for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But I wish you guys the best,
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
I look forward to hearing the new music
Hmm.
once you guys get it rolling. Keep in touch.
Absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll probably have a revisit sometime in the near future.
Hmm.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing some videos, some TikToks.
Yep.
Maybe we can get some more of your bandmates on next time
Absolutely. I'm sure they'd love to. Yeah,
for sure. But
they're
I want
hungry to
you,
get out there as well.
yeah, exactly. I want you to stay on it. Don't give up. And we're going to be waiting to see you guys in Vegas.
Sounds good. We can't wait to travel.
Yeah,
We're all big outdoors people,
I
so
know.
taking an RV out to the middle of nowhere, setting up a little
That's
camp, and
that
yeah,
would be amazing.
that's our idea of a good
Totally
time.
amazing.
So yeah, if you
And
guys ever have a show out there, let us
yeah,
know. We'll make the trip.
I no worries. But it was great meeting you, Tommy. Good luck to your band. And
Thank you
we
so
look
much.
forward to hearing more amazing music.
And you will be hearing some new music in a month. So,
All right, and keep in touch, all right?
all right, sure will. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. No worries. We'll see you next time.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye. Ravenmocker, this is a great new band out of Southern California on the scene. So definitely check them out. This is the Vegas Rock Goddess. Always like and subscribe to On the Rocks because you never know who I will be interviewing next.